welcome in. I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures. Thought I would do just a quick auction preview of the items I'm going to have on Friday. Guess I need to wait for some people to come in because I think right now I'm just talking to myself. Let me pull up the show over here. Yeah, for anybody watching on YouTube or Facebook, appreciate you stopping by as well. And if you want to participate or request any buy it now items to run, just come on over to Whatnot. There should be a link on the screen. So had a really good show this last weekend. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Did postcards last Friday, and really one of the best shows I've ever had. So looking forward to this week's show. Have some good stuff going back to general ephemera. Here in just a minute, I'll start pulling some stuff up. But let's wait and let a few people get in here. I think this is the longest I've ever gone without having anybody at least pop in the show. So anyway, it's supposed to be a great week here. I know the temperature's going to be really, really warm. Well, let me look over here on Whatnot and make sure the show is showing up. It is. So, yeah, I didn't advertise this show at all. It was kind of a last minute decision to do. So that's probably why people are slow to come in. But I can talk to myself just as easily. So, although I don't guess I need to preview anything if I'm going to be the only one in here. So we'll give it a few more minutes. Hey, Julia Rod, thanks for coming in. I think you're the first one to stop by. This was a last second decision to do this. I think every Monday now I may start previewing my Friday auction. And in addition, I've got a bunch of stuff in the buy it now, like 263 items it looks like. So take a look there. If you see anything you want me to run, just let me know and I can run any of the buy it now stuff as an auction starting at least 30% off, maybe more on some items. We'll let a few more people get in here and then we'll start previewing some of the items. So I hope you're doing well. I know here in Knoxville, Tennessee, it's supposed to be a really nice week. I think the highs are going to be pushing almost 80 by the time we get to the middle to the end of the week. So looking forward to that. It was kind of cold last week, cold and rainy. Wasn't too bad yesterday. Actually got out and did a little bit of yard work. Hey, holy moly, roly poly, thanks for coming in. Just doing a auction preview today. Plus, if you see anything in the buy it now, feel free to request me to bring any of those up, and I will run any of that stuff as an auction starting at least 30% off. Hey, Jack's 4630, starting to have a few people stop in now. I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Hope everybody's having a great Monday so far, as good as a Monday can be. Where's everybody else from? I am from Knoxville, as I mentioned, and in addition to selling on Whatnot, which I've been on Whatnot over 3 years now, I think, or maybe it's 3 years next month. So I know I've been on there a while. And in addition to Whatnot, I sell on a bunch of other online platforms and also have 3 antique booths here in the Knoxville area, which is West End Antiques and Bearden Antique Mall, both in West Knoxville, and then also at Granny's Attic in Clinton, Tennessee. So if you're ever coming through the area, make sure you stop by and check those out. So tell you what, we will go ahead and I guess get started showing some of the stuff. And this is for my show on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be doing general ephemera. I did postcards last weekend or last Friday, and really good show. Ton of people stopped by, sold a lot of postcards. We've been going through a bunch of postcards that I got at a farmhouse in Greenville, Tennessee, and just about through with those, but probably have enough to sprinkle some in the upcoming ephemera shows. I do shows pretty much every Friday, 1:15, somewhere in that range. Hey, Grandma Sherry. Hey, no, Naco Wafer. Um, I think I'm going to be taking off the week after next because my daughter's going to be in town with my grandson. Well, daughter and son-in-law, although my son-in-law is going up to Lexington, Kentucky to watch the NCAA tournament games that weekend. But we'll have Harry, our grandson, here. So looking forward to that. We've only seen him twice since he's been born, since they live in Houston, and we're over here in Knoxville. So we wish we could get him closer. Maybe one day. But for now, anyway, we got FaceTime, and that's at least get to see him some every day, even if it's just through the phone. So I guess technology is good for stuff like that. So I'll tell you what, just real quick, since we do have a few more people in here, I'm going to go through all the auction stuff that I have for Friday. And I'll probably add more before Friday, but this will at least give you a flavor of the stuff we'll have for this Friday. Feel free to ask any questions about anything. And then also take a look through the Buy It Now if you see anything you want me to run. I will do anything out of the Buy It Now starting at least 30% off as an auction, potentially more depending on the item. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to randomly grab stuff. These are not going to be in the order of the lot numbers, but so we will have some just studio cards, or studio photos rather. You got, this looks like somebody's grandmother. I like the way they hand tinted her rosy cheeks there. And that's from Columbia Studios. I don't know where that is. Then we also have this lady, and this was from Cookeville, Tennessee. So I was curious to see if Millicent's Memories may stop by. I know she lives in that area, so might be something she would be interested in. If you know anybody who you think would want to see this, feel free to tag them in the chat. See if we can get a few people in here. And then also this, I guess it's a mother and child. So that'll all be run as one lot. And you can see more details about it if you go to the show and look in the catalog. I try to put, a lot of pictures and also some description of what those items will be. So that will be there. I thought these were cool. I know this one here, these are catalogs from a carnival company. They make merry-go-rounds and other rides. And I know this one for sure is a reproduction. I think it was from let's see when the reproduction's from. I don't know that it doesn't have a date, but as you can see here, it was reproduced by the Vestal Press. But regardless, it's got a lot of really cool images of old carnival rides, a lot of merry-go-rounds, and I think it's got these cool organs that I guess would maybe be part of the carousels. And then it's also got some other rides as you look back through here. Yeah, here's some park swings. So things of that nature. Then there's this one. I think it's also a reproduction, but there's nothing in here that says reproduction. But there's no dates or anything either. I don't know. It's just in really good condition. So I'm not sure if this one's original or reproduction, because the other one clearly says reproduction, but this one does not. So in any case, that will also be in the auction Friday. Hey, Marianne 1808, thanks for coming in. We're just going through the stuff I'm going to have in my auction on Friday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, take a look in the Buy It Now if you see anything you want me to bring up. I can run anything in the Buy It Now as an auction starting at least 30% off. If some things I might can even start a little more than that. So anyway, hope you're having a good Monday. So far so good for me. Just been busy listing stuff and getting stuff packaged that I sold over the weekend. I got all my Whatnot stuff. I was proud of myself. Had the Whatnot show on Friday. Sold like 45 items, I think, and I had them all packaged up and taken to the post office by Saturday. So Anybody who purchased anything from me on Friday should have that, by middle of the week anyway. Hey, Horn Pal, thanks for stopping by. We're just previewing our auction that we're going to have on Friday at 1 p.m. And then also, if you see anything in the Buy It Now you want me to run as an auction, just let me know and I can run it at least at 30% off. I thought this was cool. This is a booklet from the Queen Elizabeth's coronation in 1953. And it's, I guess to use church terms, it's the order of worship, but it has all the hymns that they sing. It's got, basically just the entire order of the service. So, but I think it is an original booklet from 1953, so that will be part of the auction. And let's see. I thought this was a cool photo. It's a Lufthansa Airlines from August 1963. I think it's 8x10 photograph. Looks like maybe it was a tour group of some sort. Not sure, where they're going to, but who can imagine today letting this many people on the tarmac of the airport, ready to board the plane? I'm sure security was a whole lot different in the 50s. Of course, I used to travel a lot in the 90s, and security was a whole lot different then as well. So, let's see, what was this one? Oh yeah, this was a really cool book. Of course, I don't have my notes in front of me, but this was a book from sometime in the early 1900s, I think. Might have even been 1800s. We'll see if we see a date in there. But this was a souvenir album of prominent players. So it's like actors and things of that nature. I feel like it's story time now. Let's see where this was. Pretty sure the front cover had a date on it. No, it didn't have a date, but it was a souvenir album of prominent players, and there's who it was published by. But as you look through the album, I assume all these were famous people, maybe actors and people of that nature from this time frame. But it's just a whole book filled with nothing but photographs of those people. Hey, Kathy's Collectibles, thanks for coming in. Just doing an auction preview show for Friday. And also, if you see anything in the Buy It Now you want me to run as an auction, I can start things at least 30% off what they're listed for, if not more. But anyway, so yeah, for anybody who's just come in, I'm Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Been on Whatnot almost 3 years now, I think it is. Did I start in 2022, I believe? Is it 3 or 4 years? Was I in 2021? I can't remember now. I've been on it so long. I generally run in the ephemera category, although I sell a ton of other stuff across other platforms and out of my antique malls. Everything from China to flatware to vintage and antique collectibles, books. I do a whole ton of books and records. I do a lot of records out of my antique malls. So anyway, so let's see. Let's grab the next thing here. And these are in no particular order. Just grabbing them as I have them on the shelf over here. Do have a couple of bumper stickers from the 60s. You got LBJ for the USA. And then you also have a Barry Goldwater bumper sticker. So this one's 1964. I assume this one might be 1964 as well, because that's when LBJ ran and got elected. So that is probably the 64 election when he ran and was elected president. And he probably beat Goldwater, I would guess. So, everybody have a big week planned? Any special plans? Travel? Anything exciting going on? I know it's spring break for a lot of people. I know here in Knoxville, I think it's spring break for the schools here, which doesn't affect us anymore since all our kids are grown. Um, we do still have two kids here in Knoxville. Then we have our daughter in Nashville with our grandson and her husband. And then my son lives in Nashville. So yeah, for anybody just coming in, just going through the stuff we're going to have in the auction on Friday. So make sure you bookmark that show. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern time. Hey, Bolivar Pete, thanks for stopping in. And also, if you see anything in the buy it now you want me to bring up, I can rent anything in there at 30%. I have 263 items in the buy it now, so maybe you can find something you like. I'll also have some cigarette cards up for the show Friday. And also note, this is not an exclusive list because I'll end up having probably more. I'll be adding stuff all week. Hey, East Coast Cards, welcome in. So this is a complete set of Will cigarettes, ship emblems or ship's badges. So there's 50 cards in the set. So that'll be coming up for auction Friday. And then the other cigarette card set that I'll bring up or Gems of Belgian Architecture. So that is also a complete set of 50 cards. Here's what the backs look like on those. But they're all in binders and everything, or sheets. I guess they're not in binders. So those will be running. I have a bunch of cigarette cards that I've come across that I'll be bringing into my ephemera shows over the next couple of months. I think I've got 25 or 30 sets of them. So if you like cigarette cards, make sure you follow me and bookmark all my upcoming shows. So, hey, Collector's Corner 96. Also, on Friday, we will have this Stagecoach Sam book from 1940. It's a kid's book. Got some great illustrations in it. So, got the covered wagons, and looks like he's buying himself a gun there or buying a gun for his kid. So once again, that's from 1940. So yeah, make sure you bookmark my Friday show. It'll start at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, and usually I run for 3 or 4 hours. So we'll see how it goes. I think my whole auction on Friday is probably going to be curated. I've been doing some just random unboxings and pulling stuff out of boxes, and then all the postcards I was pulling out of boxes. So I think I'm going to switch gears to a curated show on Friday. So make sure you check that out. You can get your pre-bids in, and once again, that's 1 o'clock on Friday. Let's see what else we got. Also got this Rudyard Kipling book. I think it's from the 20s. I'm not 100% sure on that. It does have a little bit of like condition issue across the spine there, but everything's attached firmly. So if you like books, I'll have a few books on Friday. Try to always have a good variety of stuff. Just keep it, keep it fresh, and run a mix of different shows. Curated shows some weeks, box pulls other weeks. As I mentioned, this week will be curated. So anyway, let's see. Oh, and let me go ahead and show this for 2 weeks from today. I'm looking forward to bringing this up, but this will not be in next week's show. Right now, this is the only thing in the catalog for my show a week from Fridays, or no, 2 weeks, because I'm taking the 14th off because that's when my grandson will be in town. But the week of the 28th, I think, is that show. I'm going to have this autographed or signed Eleanor Roosevelt letter. It's in the original envelope. As you can see, it's still got the original sealed official United States seal on it. It was sent to somebody in Maryville, Tennessee. Hey, Mitch GTZ. Hey, Gecko Master. But if we look at the letter, it's actually pretty interesting subject matter. So it was Mrs. Roosevelt. She sent this on June 15th, 1947, and it was a thank you note to somebody who sent her a bust of her husband, so of FDR, which was made by Mr. Boring. So Mr. Green's the one who sent it to her, and she was going to send the bust to the Franklin D. Roosevelt Library at Hyde Park, and then she signed it at the bottom. So, I mean, I don't have any authentication on this, but the fact it's in the envelope with the original seal, pretty sure it's real. And I did look at a few other examples just on other platforms, and it looks like it's the way she signed her name during that period. Hey Mitch, I think I said hi to you. Hey Package Still, Packages Dow. Thanks for coming to the show Friday. Your stuff did get sent out on Saturday, so you should have that middle of the week. Hey JT Scott, Blay Ray, Robin's Nest of Papers. Appreciate y'all coming by. Going through all the stuff I've got in the auction this coming up Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. So just decided to do a preview show. I decided to do this last minute, so there was no advertising or anything for it. Hey, Corey's Vintage Stories. But in addition, I did put a bunch of stuff in the Buy It Now. There's 263 items in there. If you see anything at all in the Buy It Now that you would like to look at, let me know. I can grab it. Of course, well, I'll show you my office here in a second. I do have to find things, although I've got a spreadsheet that tells me where everything is, so I can usually pull it pretty quickly. But in any case, I would run anything that anybody requests out of the Buy It Now as an auction, starting at least 30% off, if not a little more. So we've gone through, I guess, 5 or 6 of the things that'll be in the auction on Friday. Here's another pretty cool book. It's called Behind the Arras or Eris. And this book was, says A Book of the Unseen by Bliss Carman, and it's from 1899. So you can see there. And it's like a poem book. So, a lot of really cool illustrations. Book's in really good shape to be, pre-1900, but that will be in the auction on Friday. Then I have a couple of really cool scrapbooks we're going to show here in just a minute, so stick around for that. Here's another vintage book. This one's a humor book. I guess it's making fun of Southern people such as myself, but it's the Photograph album, and it is from, let's see if it's got a date, 1915. Or actually, this one was the revised edition from 1926. So there's the title page. Let me pull my show up here on my desktop so I can watch the chat. But if you look, it's got these photographs, and then it's got humorous stuff about each one. So Uncle Jed Doty and his wife Aunt Phoebe, he's Ma's half-brother, and he's an awful good singer. Used to travel with Doc Lighthall. He's handsome too, I think, but Aunt Phoebe ain't very. Ma said she used to be awful purty till after she had the rheumatisms bad. That's something we get here in the South is the rheumatisms. So that one will be coming up. Hey, Ma Lake, thanks for coming in. And just a couple of other things before we show those albums. This is a Balinese dancer from Bali, and it is stamped with where it came from on the back. It's came from some art gallery, so probably maybe a souvenir shop item, but really vibrant colors on that. Thought it was cool. It's on some kind of fabric. So we'll have that coming up. And then let me grab these. Whoops. Yeah, these were, let's see if I can remember. I don't have like my sheets in front of me telling what everything is. But this was a collection of German temporary banknotes, I think they were. I think they were issued after World War I think there's 3 or 4 in there. I can't remember exactly how many, but they have an expiration date. Like this one was good until sometime in 1921. So these were issued right after World War One, and they were temporary banknotes used in Germany. So, hey, DanRam 2117, thanks for coming in. Also had a couple of these patches. These were from Greenland. So there were two. They're identical patches, but they were iron-on patches, I think, from Greenland. So you got those. Then these were kind of like Victorian trade cards, but they're Bible study cards. So they were probably, well, not probably, they were used in Sunday schools. There's a pretty good stack of those. And these are all from the year 1901. So they range from April 1901 all the way to December. But a lot of really good artwork on these. So those will be up for bid on Friday. Hey, Ahendep, thanks for coming in. We're just going through and previewing the auction, just kind of chatting this morning. And also, if anybody sees anything in the buy it now they want me to run, I can do those starting as an auction at least 30%, if not more. Anybody watching over on the YouTube channel or on Facebook, if you want to join, there should be a little QR code you can scan to come over here, or you can just come to Whatnot and search for Franklin Hill Ventures. Appreciate all the people who've watched the videos on YouTube and who subscribe to our channel over there. So I'm part of a podcast on YouTube. If you're interested in checking it out, it's the Finders Flippers Resale Podcast. You can just search for that on YouTube and it should come right up. I think if you just put in Finders Flippers, it's the first one that pops up. So have some real photo postcards. I think there's 4 or 5 in the lot. Here, we can take them out and look at them. Yeah, so you got the one of the little girls here. There's another little girl standing on the front porch of her house. Then you have this guy with this great mustache. He looks like a lumberjack or something. But it says, "This is your son-in-law. Isn't he a handsome fellow?" So, and then you have a mom with 2 kids who all look thrilled to be in this picture. So, four real photo postcards. I may also run some just postcard lots from the farmhouse. I still have about almost 1 whole box left for anybody who's been in my past postcard shows. Those have been a lot of fun. This last one, we found some really good postcards. If anybody likes stamps, there are a few stamps. I think they're all 3-cent. They're all 3-cent stamps. Then also some postage due stamps that have been hand canceled. So if anybody likes stamps, there will be a few of those. I always have people ask if I'm going to do any stamps, and I just happen to find those. Then we have this hand-colored picture of a little girl. And it's interesting because on the back, it does have, I guess these were the colors that they wanted to do. So you have for her hair, it needs to be blonde, her eyes are blue, her dress is medium blue, and her trim is white. So, and then that was the finished product there. Then I have this scrapbook, and I don't think Millicent's Memories is in here, but this might be one she would have interest in because it is from Sparta, Tennessee, which is pretty close to her hometown. But this is a whole 1950s scrapbook that has things like clippings from football games and just other kind of high school stuff. Tell you what, let me set all this stuff on the floor. Let me put this scrapbook down and I'll flip the camera and just give you a quick look at what's in it. So here's the cover. It's a pretty cool cover. The scrapbook itself is in okay condition. As you can see, there is some wear to the cover there. But then if we look at the pages in here, these appear to have been added after the fact. It must be a class reunion, and they just went ahead and added them to the scrapbook. But the original scrapbook was done starting in the early 50s, 1950, 51. I think it goes all the way through maybe the 1953 or 1954. So, but there's all kind of clippings about sports. It's mostly all newspaper clippings, although there are a few other things in here. I think there's some ticket stubs, a few photos. Look at the majorettes there, along with the head dude for the band. Here's where somebody got killed by a hit and run driver. Yeah, so Sparta, which is in Middle Tennessee, kind of near Cookeville if you're familiar with Tennessee. It's near Cookeville, McMinnville, that whole area up there. Yeah, in fact, there's Sparta where they beat McMinnville. So anyway, got this whole scrapbook here that we'll be auctioning off, and we'll show it in more detail during the show on Friday. And then let me grab these last two things, these photo albums. We'll go through there, and then that'll probably be the show for today. I just wanted to go through this stuff and show the kind of stuff that we'd be bringing. As I mentioned, I'll continue to add stuff as well. So, and these two photo albums are incredible. So, they're some of my favorite photo albums that I've had. So this particular one here, I think this is the one from the 40s. Yeah. So it appeared to be a German family that came over to the U.S. for a trip, and they basically did a cross-country trip. There are a few miscellaneous, this is actually a picture from Germany. If you can see, it's a guy ski jumping, and it's 1923. So my guess is they added this later, because the rest of the photo album is more these trip photos. So here's where they were in the Badlands. You can see um, Mount Rushmore there. I don't know why I went blank on the name, but they documented this whole trip, which is what's so cool. I mean, it's like a diary of the trip, and you can see there's tons of detail in here. But here's some more photos here. Hey, One Nerdy Llama. So yeah, for anybody just coming in, we're just previewing the stuff that's going to be in the auction on Friday. So you can go to that show, which is going to be this Friday the 7th at 1 p.m. and check out the catalog for more detail. I will be adding some more stuff as the week goes by, but wanted to go ahead and show what I had in the catalog so far. These are like little trading cards of some sort, or I guess they were mini postcards probably that came out of something. Still in Badlands, but you can see over here, did a lot of documenting of the trip. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, here's some more of those mini postcards. So it's kind of mixed in postcards, photos, and then other miscellaneous things. For better or worse, a lot of this stuff is taped into this particular album. The other album we're going to look at, they used photo corners. This one does have these were put in with photo corners and not tape. So there's kind of a mix of things. But here's where they went to the Fossil Museum. That's entering some kind of tunnel at Yellowstone, the Yellowstone entrance. Here's another entrance to Yellowstone. It's a few newspaper clippings here. And there's another picture. You can see Mount Rushmore in the distance there. These look like, Shoshone Dam. So we, my daughter and I went to Shoshone Falls when we did our cross-country trip. Here's a ranch in Wyoming. Wonder if that's the Yellowstone Ranch, or that was Montana, I guess, not not Wyoming. Um, and then here's a bunch of bears here. So yeah, this was a really cool album. Probably, I don't know if it's as cool as the next one we'll look at or not, but it's pretty cool. So here's Old Faithful. They're waiting for Old Faithful. And as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure this was a German family that came over to tour the United States. There's some more Old Faithful. There's a moose in Yellowstone. And, as you can see, it's a mix. Like, these are photo corners. These are tape. Well, this one's tape. So there's a Mount Rushmore there. And here's their cabin. Wagon Wheel, our cabin in Jackson Hole. There's the Cave of the Winds. And, we'll look at this again on Friday when we actually auction it off. Maybe it's the other one that's the German family. This one, yeah, I think this one might be an American family because this is all in English. The other one's got German writing in it. I got my albums mixed or like kind of run together there, but yeah, this one. But you can see they, day by day itinerary of what they did. So they ended up going up into Canada as well. It looks like there's a postcard of a Mountie. Then there are some postcards in here. Yeah, just a lot of photographs. I don't know how many photographs total are in this thing, but it's a lot. And they were here at these cabins in October of 1949. Here's a photograph of photograph of Niagara Falls and the Maid of the Mist. You can see the boat down there. This is when they went around Lake Michigan and Mackinac Island, 1950. So I'm assuming this was like multiple trips, maybe. There's a cold, rainy day at Mackinac. There's a picnic, an old car there. Here's where they went to the Ozarks. So it was truly either, a cross country trip that they did at one time, or, it was broken up. Yeah, so there's Stark Caverns. Hey, Ocho Finco. Hey, D. Thanks for coming in. Just doing a preview of our auction on Friday, which will be Friday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Also, if you see anything in the Buy It Now you want me to run as an auction, let me know. And I will do things, starting at least at 30% off. I think there's 200 and something items in the Buy It Now. Here's Conway, Arkansas. So they kept their soap wrapper. So anyway, this keeps going. You just go back to the back. You can see there's also some brochures and stuff in here. So a little bit of everything in that album. And then let me show the last album, and then we will wrap it up. And you can see all my inventory shelves over there. So you can see I sell a lot of china and other things like that as well. But I don't do that stuff on Whatnot generally. All right, so this album here, only problem with these old albums is they do tend to shed everywhere, and especially these ones that are leather like this. But so this album itself was a souvenir from the Indian Village in Wisconsin Dells. But look at the artwork on the front of this. Very, very cool. So yeah, leather cover on this. And I'll probably have to wash my hands after I finished. But yeah, this is the one that's written in German. But this one's from the 20s. And there's some really cool pictures in this one as well. Hey, Widget Warehouse. Thanks for stopping in. You can see the old car there. And then here they are, I guess, with the Native American who's at Indian Village in the Wisconsin Dells. But yeah, as you can see, it's all written in German. So this must have been a German family or couple or part of a tour group. I'm not really sure. But here they are swimming at the Wisconsin Dells. I think now the Wisconsin Dells has all the water parks and everything, but I'm assuming back then that it was just like lakes and things of that nature. Not sure what they're doing here, but these are for the most part put in with photo corners, which is nice on this album. The last album was a mix more of tape and things like that. Hey, MQC, I love this guy on a motorcycle here. Let's see if I can get the next page done. Then we have another Native American here, and then riding in a boat down here. So it's another motorcycle picture. And then there's a lot of pictures of whatever car they were using. I don't know if they rented one or if they were with family members who had it. This one's from 1937. They're at Lover's Leap and something Rock, Illinois. Starved Rock, maybe? Look at this big old bear. That's pretty cool. Hey, Brian Bowe, thanks for coming in. We're just previewing the auction for Friday. Not actually auctioning this stuff off today. But if you do see anything in my Buy It Now that you're interested in, let me know. Hey, Gilded Line Books, thanks for coming in. Well, if I can get... It's hard to do this one-handed. There we go. So, yeah, just a bunch of boats and them sitting on a rock up there. Well, see if I can get to the next page. Maybe if I go up here, there we go. Well, almost had it. Now they're in California, so they've been, in the Midwest, and now they're out in California. Actually, this is Chicago here, but then here's Los Angeles. So look at, I guess, I don't know what road that is, but look at all the cars and the palm trees. Hey, Empty Nest Deals, thanks for coming in, Mandy B. Just previewing the stuff we're going to have in our auction on Friday, so make sure you bookmark that show. And it'll start at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. It just started, so hopefully it's getting off to a good start for you. Here's somebody in front of their car, in front of some kind of, I guess, house in Los Angeles there. Then there's another picture of just a road. Well, and then we're back to German writing again, so I'm not sure exactly what that says, but we're in 1937. So yeah, if you like old cars, there's been a lot of really cool car pictures. Now we're in San Francisco. This says San Francisco Park. Hey, Sobe, thanks for coming in. And as I mentioned, if you see anything at all in the Buy It Now you want me to run, just let me know. I can't tell if this car like broke down, if it's in a ditch. It looks kind of like it's crooked or something. I don't know what was in this slot here. But anyway, it's a guy standing in front of his car out on a dirt road somewhere, it looks like. And of course, we'll show these again on Friday. I don't know if they're still in San Francisco here, but it looks like they're down in the water now. And now we get to Washington, D.C. So they're kind of jumping all over the place. I don't know, they probably put this together after the trip, I guess. So, but here they are in front of the White House. You just wonder how many people have taken this exact same picture. But look at all the old cars in front of the U.S. Capitol there. Then I think they're at the zoo here. I assume that's the Washington Zoo, maybe. And then here's another picture of them at the zoo, it appears. Yeah, I think it's the lions. You can see up there on the top, it looks like the lions. Once again, not sure where this is, but a lot of pictures of guys standing in front of their cars. It's something us guys like to do, I guess, is take pictures with your cars. And then not sure where this is either. Looks like maybe he's down there fishing on the rocks. And then looks like they've been swimming, and I guess this is a lake back here. Maybe we're back to Chicago or something, or one of where the Great Lakes are. And let's see, I think we're getting close to the end now. Another guy with his car. It looks like maybe this is wherever they're staying. But I do like the fact all these pictures were put in with photo corners and not taped or glued. I guess out on the water. Looks like he's ready to go sail a boat there. Well, just 3 people standing. I won't worry about moving the paper there. Is that it? Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, so anyway, that is the other album I have. So if you weren't in here earlier, here was the cover of that one. And the album itself came from the Wisconsin Dells. So let me set this back up here and flip the camera back around. Get it. So anyway, that's a look at the stuff that we have in the auction so far for Friday. As I mentioned, I'll be adding stuff the rest of the week, so make sure you bookmark the show. Keep checking if you can't be there. Get any pre-bids in. Give everybody a minute just to take a last look in the Buy It Now. If you see anything you want me to run, yeah, I can run the Vol Cookbook. So let me find that. We'll see how quickly I can do this. So VOL, let's see. So the Vintage Cookbook, A Slice of Orange Favorite. Let me pin that. Then I'll come back and run it as an auction. So let me find it over here so I know where it is. Let me put it into my catalog. I got like a master catalog where I keep all this stuff. So that is in D6. So let me go grab that real quick. There it is. All right, so here's the cookbook, and let me just show it real quick. So this one's really geared a lot towards football. I mean, it's got a lot of pictures of like Vol traditions. You have John Ward there in the front. This is from 1995, and this is a first printing, it says. So you can see down there at the bottom. And we have this at 18, so let me get my calculator here. So 18 times, I'll run this one that started at 35. So I started $11 for this one. So just show a few more things here. It does have some pictures like of game day. Then of course you have all the different recipes in it. Here's the back with Pat Summit. Let's see if there's any other cool pictures or anything that we want to see. Here's Greg McMichael, who played in the major leagues, and he put a recipe for fudge pie in there. So yeah, anyway, so let me see if I haven't actually ever done this. So let me see if I go in and start this as an auction, if it'll let me pick the amount. So if I click that. So if I go product actions, run as auction, yep, it does. Let me do a starting price. So we're going to start at $11. And we do not need to do 30 seconds. We'll do 20 seconds. Not sudden death. All right, this is running right now. Thank Gecko Master for the bid. And this stuff should ship out today. I'll probably package it up right after the show's over. All right, thank you. So yeah, if everybody else wants to take a quick look and just see if you have, if there's anything else in the buy it now you want me to run. Hey Carol, thanks for coming in. Kay Clark, Brebo, anybody else I missed. Getting ready to wrap up here. I'm Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. So it was just kind of decided at the last minute to do a yeah, I mean, I do. I have some Lady Vol. I know I have some Lady Vol's license plates. I can add those. I could run one of those. They're like the national championship ones. I mean, I could run those pretty cheap. I'm trying to think what else Vols I have right now. A lot of my Vol stuff goes to my booths, just because it sells so well there. Um, but yeah, that's all I can think of. I was just looking around to see if I see anything sticking out. Let me go. I can show you these Lady Ball license plates. You know what? Tell you what, I'm just gonna stick one of these in your cookbook. You can just have one of these. I have a bunch of them, so I'll stick that in with your cookbook there. So you'll get one of those license plates as well. Oh, cool. Yeah. So it's yeah, Granny's Attic is where we are. We're up at the top of the hill on Market Street. If you have an opportunity to come to the festival, it'll be the first. I don't know when the spring festival is. It's usually like right around May, probably whenever my daughter's getting married. So I probably won't be able to be there. Seems like every year when they have the spring festival and the fall festival, I always have something I've got to do and can't make it. Um, so anyway, but yeah, check out if you go to if you go to Facebook and search for Granny's Attic Antiques in Clinton, they have those dates, I think. But the spring festival is really good. The fall festival is off the charts good. I don't know if you've ever been to either one, but for both of them, they close all the streets down and they have street vendors and like food and music, and all the antique malls in town run big sales. Um, so yeah, it's a real good time. The only problem with the spring festival, it seems like it really storms every year. And I always feel so sorry for the street vendors. It actually helps the inside stores like us, but it seems like every year the it storms like Friday night and all the tents get blown down. Oh, cool. So Johnson City and Greenville. So did y'all have any issues with the flooding from the hurricane? I know Greenville got some pretty bad flooding, so hopefully y'all survived all that okay. Um, yeah, and I mean I used to go to the auction in Greenville a lot, to Shiloh Auctions, I think it's called. I don't go there as much anymore just because it's like a 45-minute drive, and it's like every other time I wouldn't find anything, and it was a long way to drive to not come home with something. So, um, but that is where I got all the postcards I've been running, is from Greenville, over the past, what, 6, 7 shows. Still have a few of those left that I'll run in the show. I'll probably run some of them Friday. Probably still have 1,000 postcards left. Maybe not quite that many, but I still do have a lot. Hey, Genuine App Bubba, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I mean, I have a friend whose family was all from up in, like, was it somewhere up in the, like, Mountain City area? I think it was Mountain City. Whichever area it was, yeah, he had a lot of family members who just, I mean, it completely washed away everything they had. So, um, man, I felt so bad for all those people. And a lot of the places I used to go as a kid up in North Carolina all got wiped away too, like Lake Lure and Montreat, and those areas got hammered really hard. So, um, yeah, I mean, and I haven't been up there. I've heard it's still really, really bad, and it's years, years before everything will be, well, whatever normal is. I mean, back to some semblance of normal. Hey, bid for it. Yeah, so we just finished going through everything I've got in the auction on Friday. So make sure you go check that show out. It'll be Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. I'm going back to 1 on weekends. We're having a state sale to go to. I usually do 1:15, 1:30, but I'll do this one at 1 o'clock on Friday. And keep an eye on the catalog. I think this show's going to be primarily curated stuff. I kind of mix it up. Some weeks I'll do just pulling out of boxes, and then other weeks I do more curated. So this week's going to be primarily curated, although we may go through some of the postcard boxes that I've got left from the farmhouse in Greenville. Man, we've pulled some really crazy stuff out of those boxes, though. I know we had at least a couple of baseball postcards. One was a 1917 Chicago White Sox team postcard, and then there was also a early 1900s Nashville. I don't know if they were called the Sounds then, but the Nashville Baseball Club. They were still in the they were in the Southern League back then, and it was a postcard where they'd won the National or the Southern League championship. And then a lot of Halloween postcards we found. The majority of everything we were pulling from those boxes was early 1900s, 1900s up to maybe the 20s, and with a few like chrome 50s, 60s, even some 70s thrown in. The fun thing is there was no rhyme or reason to how these things were in the boxes. So it was pretty much just, I mean, you never know what you were going to pull out. You'd be flipping through and that'd be this baseball postcard followed by, a bunch of just random cities and things like that. So I think if we wait just a minute, let me look. I think that there's a show that starts at 11:30 maybe that we can raid. So if y'all hang with me for just a minute, you want to listen to me ramble on here. Or, if there's anything you see in the buy it now you want me to run, I can do those for anywhere, 30% off at least, and maybe more depending on what the item is. So just a couple more minutes and then we'll raid over to, let me go look at that, because I know there's somebody who's running, Postcards and Prose Company. So stick with me. It's always fun for people to get rated. So just about another 2 minutes. In fact, let me refresh and see if they're live yet. Nope, they are not live yet, but they should be live any time now. Just kind of summarize for the auction Friday, we have the two really killer photo albums / scrapbooks. One's from the 40s, one's from the 20s to the 30s, I think it was. We have a 50 scrapbook from here in Tennessee and Sparta. And then just some miscellaneous other things. Have two complete sets of cigarette cards that we'll be showing. And then some books. Just looking some bumper stickers, a few postcards, and other miscellaneous things. So by the time Friday comes around, there'll probably end up being 40 or so lots, I guess, to go through. I think I'm up to 20 something right now. I can't remember the exact number. Um, so I'll continue to add stuff all week. So make sure you check that out. I'm just continuing to refresh the screen over here to see if postcards and prose is live yet. They still aren't live yet. So I'll just keep rambling on here. Hey, Poncho. Uh, hey, Hershizzle. Spider 82, thanks for stopping by. This was kind of an impromptu, just last minute show, almost a pop up. I think I scheduled it an hour before I went live. I may try to start doing a Monday show like this at 10:30, just to go over the stuff I have in that week's auction on Friday, and then just to chat with people. Um, I mean, I love Whatnot. I sell on a bunch of platforms. Whatnot's kind of my, I guess, social outlet for anybody who else is a full time reseller. You know, it can kind of be a lonely profession. You know, you're down. I'm basically in my basement down here with no windows. You know, all day long, and occasionally go upstairs to check on the dog. Or so this is kind of my social outlet. Um, can I see Vertical Leap? Yes. I know exactly where that is. Well, I thought I did. Let's see. That's the Dane Bradshaw book. Okay, hold on. Give me just a second here. I'm going to close some stuff on my computer here. Let's see. Vertical Leap. Let me see where that one is. I think it's right behind me somewhere, but nope, actually it's over here. Hold on just a second. It is in JB, which is right here. Yeah, so here's this book, and let me pull it up in the catalog here, and then I'll show it, and you can decide if you want me to run it. Let me pin that. Yeah, so got Dane Bradshaw on the front. This one's in pretty good condition, and it is signed. It's personalized, though, to Stacy. Just says good luck and go Vols, and then has the Dane Bradshaw signature. To be honest, I don't know that I've ever seen a copy of this book that's not autographed. I'm sure there are some, but especially when you live in Knoxville, you know, you see these in the thrift stores and stuff a lot. And it seems like every copy I ever find is autographed. I do have a Shamiqua Holzclaw book over here too. I don't know if I added it to the catalog, but I can also show you that if you're interested. And I think it's signed as well. Hey, David, my brother's on here. I was just showing the Vertical Leap book, and I was just telling him that every copy of this you ever find appears to be autographed. So let's see. I had that for $12. So if you're interested, um, I would run that one at 30% off. So I'd start it at $8, so a little less than okay. So your shipping's not going to matter anyway because it's capped at $9. So I'm just going to run them separately because I think with your weight you'll be at the $9 on the third book anyway. So let me go ahead and start this one at $8. Run as an auction. $8, 20 seconds. All right, this is now running. So, and of course, Dane's on the SEC network now as a commentator. And I will put that with your license plate and cookbook. All right, thank you. Let me pull the Shamiqua book. I'll probably have to add it because I don't think well, I can actually go pull it over real quick. Give me just a second. Vertical leap. All right, let me see if that Shamiqua book is in the show right now. I don't think it is, but I can add it real quick because it's in my marketplace. Shamiqua. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, I may not even have it on Whatnot at all. So tell you what, let me just pull it out and I'll have to add it manually. But yeah, so here's this book. It's Shamiqua, and this one's also signed and personalized to Doug Tulick and Bargain Barnes, or at Bargain Barnes. Best wishes, Shamiqua. Holes Call number 23. Book appears to be in really good condition. Does have photographs and stuff in it. So let me see how much I have this one listed for, and then I'll tell you what I'll rent it for. So let me save this. All right, Shamiqua. Okay, it's this one. So I do have that one listed at 35. So let me know if you're interested if I run it at, I would run it at 40% off. So that would make it 21, but I'll start it at 20. So let me know if you're interested in that one at 20. It is signed by her. So just let me know and I can add it to the catalog. Okay, no worries. So let me just stick it back on the shelf here. All right, well, I guess that's it for today. Let me see if she's live yet. Yep, they are. So we'll go over and raid postcards and pros. So appreciate everybody stopping by today. Hope to see you at the show on Friday. 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We'll be doing all the stuff I showed earlier today, plus more. So stick with me for just a second. Still have at least 3 people hanging out. So we'll go over and raid postcards and pros. So raid, select. All right, everybody have a great day. Time to get back